Today, I'm starting an ambitious project, fully automating enchantments in Minecraft. My goal is to create a factory that produces maxed out diamond tools all on its own. This is a big task, so I'm breaking it into two parts. In this video, I'll focus on building a hyper experience farm, along with the factories needed to keep it running automatically. In the next part, I'll tackle the heart of the project, automating the enchanting process itself. If you don't want to miss the second part of this project, make sure to subscribe, and while you're at it, leave a like as it helps me out a ton. Now, first off today, I think it's time to fix the Guardian farm. Not really for the Guardian output, they haven't really been hot on the market on the server, but I need the XP. I mean, I already have like 100,000 experience of nuggets, but I need more for the hyper experience because I mean, it uses a lot. And I've got a schematic that should hopefully sort all of this out for us, and we've got to just get a couple of things together for this to work. So let's see, well, we're gonna need the deployers, which no, we've used those since last. Yeah, this is gonna be a bunch of crafting, isn't it? That's everything that we should need. We need a few swords and stuff. We'll sort that out in a bit. As well, we need to get the actual farm up and running first. I eventually want to hook up this to the second part of today's project, with that being the enchantment factory and everything, and supply looting and sharpness swords to the farm. I feel like that would be very, very good. But for today, we're just going to use normal ones. But before we can even get that started, we of course have to print it, which hoping is working down there. Yeah, it looks like it. Oh, here we go. Pretty much building up the exact same farm that I was using before, just a lot further down so that I don't lag from all the bubbles. Now I have to fix the thing. Yep, okay. With the cooling chamber rebuild, I want to lower down the spawning chambers just a bit more and fix the water to guide the guardians into the middle. Got some power hooked up. Haven't put in any swords yet, but I'm just gonna try something and I hope it works. Might as well repair my pickaxe and also the shovel because my goodness, they have been low for a long time. This isn't working. I mean, that we need a disenchanter, of course. Get them back down and let's try replacing that with one of these. That's working a little better. Maybe we can even do that. Oh yeah, that's working really good. Okay. Fluid pipes coming out of this then, and we need to get this up to, I think, up on that side. Okay, got these two up here now. Needed a pump down there, but if we just quickly just replace that and do that, that's now spinning. I mean, technically, yep, that's what should be happening right now. Okay, didn't think about this through. Let's just do that for now. Let's see, going up now. I want to store this in a good place to start off, and that's where we're gonna make the hyper XP factory eventually. But well, this is only the first component. Let's see, 1, 2, and then a bit to the side, and fluid tank right here. And that's, yep, 1,080,000. Perfect. Run this over. And now we're just gonna see that's filling up. I think, no, that's not green. Nope, that's not green. You know why there's no XP? This pump is the wrong way. Here I've been diagnosing different pumps, and oh, look at that. Look at now. Oh, now it works. Sometimes I question myself. Oh yeah, XP is definitely filling up. So I think it's time that we work on some of the other things we need to make. Oh well, one of the other things we need lapis, and to make that we also need quartz. So we're gonna have to make a quartz factory to make a lapis factory. So we should probably get started on some material gathering for this. First of all, I need a few fans, and 2 is definitely not going to be enough because I want to keep these on belts. Well, I want to keep the items on belts. Let's press up a bunch of iron. We can do a little more, I think, just so that I have our hands on it, and then we'll craft up our fans, or well, our propellers. Grab some casings and shafts, and we can go ahead and create, I think I need 14 more of them out of brass. So let's put that in there, and no, okay, oops, there we go. And then bring those out. Does that mean that they just went through? Aha. That will turn into a mechanical generator if we have a drill, which we do have drills. We just don't have it on hand. We need 2 more machines for this build. We're going to need 2 of those. We've got casings already. We're going to need an iron block for one of them, a couple of sheets, and some alloy for the other one. Craft a cog and then a whisk. Should craft like that, not the other way. And that makes ourselves a press and a mixer. Then all we got to do is get a couple more components to hook all of this together in the factory. Let's grab some copper next. I've already completed some wood, which is in those yellow boxes right there, but I need to smelt this up. And I should have done this a little earlier even. Drop that into some blocks, and then let's head down into the basement because I've got to age a bunch of this down. And I have a nice flat area here where I can do it. Still got a stack left, but hopefully this is enough for what I want to do, and we'll be back in a little bit for that. For now, let's focus on some stones, and we should have everything already in storage, so let's just get that stone cuttered up. I was able to put together a bunch of things, but there's still a couple of things that I couldn't get my hands on. So we need to go on a bit of a trip over here by the desert where I'm out of terracotta at the base. So just place some rail down. And of course, to mine, we use the drill. Pick that back up as I've got all I need, and we need 2 more things before we're heading back to the base, and one of them I can get super easily right here with the coral reef. Where I have bubble coral, I might as well honestly grab a bit more, but I mainly need horn coral because that I am completely out of. Ouch, and I got poisoned by a pufferfish. Okay, great. Yep, it's going great. Just picking up the last bits here. Now all that is left is azurine, which it's a slight issue. I don't have any. Now I think I've actually got a little bit of a plan to get the azurine, at least cobbled variant, and that would mean I don't have to do as much searching. There's a decorated tunnel, and then at the bottom of this ladder there's a portal, and this leads to a certain sour person space. It's lemon space. This is what he needed coal blocks for. He's actually done a lot, and I think this over here is his ore factory. I mean, yeah, by the looks of it, it is. Now we just gotta figure out which one of these. This one's zinc. Okay. Yes, a lot of zinc. And yep, that's the cobbled azurine. Okay, we just need to investigate. Yeah, that's what we'll call it. If I just... Oh, look, it's just laying on the belt there. Hold up. I need to save it, right? I need to save it. Perfect. That's the first part. Just need to save some of that top part as well. There we go. Just need to save it. I need like a stack and a half of blue bricks, and each azurine gets me 4. So yeah, we gotta be here a while. 1 eternity later. Okay, the sink was actually broken, so I actually fixed it for him, which, you know, that's fair enough for me taking it now, right? Now back at the base, all we need is a bit of gunpowder. That's too little. Do I have... Yeah, I have a bit more on me. Guess 20 will have to do. We'll throw that into our basin along with 20 crushed raw zinc, and I think 40 azurine. That does need heat, so we'll flip the lever, power that up. Oh, dude, I love it so much. Anyways, this should create 40 azurine for us, and together with... Actually, it might be enough bricks. We'll see. Put that in the middle and then surround it with azurine, and yes, it will, because we have 2 stacks. Perfect. And then we'll get some dyes now. Back over here, already put some terracotta into the system, where I need 2 stacks of blue terracotta, and then need a bit more light blue dye so I can create 2 and a bit of that. And final thing now is gonna be our copper, and I actually need to smelt up a bit more copper because I want to use quite a lot of just regular copper in this build. So let's grab the stack we have right here, and I think I need to craft up, let's see, let's do 24 into stairs, and then we'll get another 24 of blocks. There we go. But we also need about a stack and a half of just the regular copper. Then we'll just throw this in here for now, get that all waxed up, and let's head down into the basement where we have a bunch of oxidized copper now. Actually, do I have... Nope, don't have a stone cutter on me. We just need to gather up a bunch of this. Also just gonna... Well, this one just finished, but we're also gonna grab some of the unfinished ones, as I do need a bit of just weathered and exposed copper. Let's turn this into the things we need. Just waiting for that to finish, and all of our cover blocks are done. And now all we need is crushing wheels. I still don't have a mechanical crafter in the base. And so, just gonna use this portal right over here. That leads to Shal's new base. Whoa, that's a lot of mobs. And here is the Schlunker with, yes, a crafter. And, oh, this one is an automatic. Oh, okay. Well, hopefully it's powered. Is it powered? Oh, it's just way slower. Okay. 1,000 years later. There we go. A crushing wheel's crafted up, and that finishes off the material gathering. Running on over into the stacks, also known as the metal district. And I want to fix this part of it now and add in a building here. I've started a foundation with some deep slate. Next, I want to extend this back a couple of blocks. Continuing this along, and this will create our floor. I want to start with the create components for this one, and the first thing, the one thing we're gonna have to input into this factory is quartz, which is gonna be coming from the side over here, where I'm thinking we're extending the quartz factory in over there, but we'll be running this off to the side and over this way into a basin. This also is going to need blue dye, which I think we'll put in from there, and then we need to output the lapis somehow, which I think we do on this belt. Got a chest at hand to put right there. This is going to be the blue dye backup storage. And then, yeah, we need a funnel right here, actually on both of these, to make sure that those input. I think, yes, I grabbed the lapis that we can put in there for that. And then this just is going to go up. Doesn't have to go high because I don't want this building to be very tall. Then we'll run that off to the side. And actually, we have to remove that shaft because that can't be there. And we do something like this. This belt will continue 2 more. And then we're going to get 2 tunnels out, which we're going to put, well, I guess right here. Big thing being splitting these 2 or setting these 2 prefer nearest, which means that whenever we're outputting lapis, it will go forward if it can. And what this forward will be is a shaft right there, and then our gearboxes next to this to, of course, set up a quick little crushing wheel. We could use a millstone, but nah, don't feel like it. That will then connect down to this point with just a chute right there, and that's our blue dye loop. Because if we look at the recipe for this, to make 1 lapis, we need 1 blue dye, but crushing lapis gets us 2 blue dye, and maybe even a third. So we can just make infinite lapis that way if we just supply it with quartz. And then whenever this starts backing up and the chest down there is full and all, we'll instead start sending items this way. Where waiting for them will be a small little item vault. Well, maybe not small, but not the biggest either, because honestly, I don't see myself needing a huge supply of lapis, especially not with how easy it is to make. We're most likely going to need to export quartz, but we're definitely going to need to export lapis. So we also want a shaft heading out on this way, because I'm thinking to divide the 2 factories, we're going to have a monorail depot between them that they share. And honestly, I don't know if I'm going to need to export the quartz, but I mean, there are things that needs it in the future, so maybe. Might as well work for the future, and I guess this isn't even that. This is the lapis. And this we need to export because, well, we're using it today. That's the whole reason we're building this factory, because we need the hyper experience. Got a couple of connections made, and the lapis factory is done. Well, the farm is at least. Oh, no, wait, actually. I'm missing probably most crucial part in here, the mechanical mixer to actually mix the lapis. Now the farm is done. But of course, the factory itself is incomplete, so I want to work on the shell for this farm. I've got a stone pallet with a couple big entrances, edged off with iron bars inspired by B-dubs. I wanted the factory to have an open feel since the road outside is one of the main ones in the city, and I think being able to see the farm working will look good as you walk by. Up on the roof, I want to use weathered and oxidized copper divided up using some tough bricks. Then to finish the roof up here, just want to bring in some blast furnace on this one with some polished tough walls leading into the chimney. Just do that on this one, getting in a bit of variation throughout these with some polished basalt over here. Down from the roof, got a few details added on the inside. I'll take a look here in a second. Just want to get this guy in with one of these coming out. So we can place 2 placards on this guy, just symbolizing that this is a lapis factory. And that pretty much finishes it up, other than, well, lapis. I want details on lapis in here. I think I also brought along a little bit of blue concrete powder to mix it out, just give it some texture. But obviously I don't have enough lapis. I don't have 30 lapis books just laying around, so we'll have to get the farm up and running first, and for that we need to build the quartz factory. So to start off the quartz factory, I want to use deep slate as the base again, this time the right way up, which unfortunately means we're gonna have to use a lot more temporary blocks because, well, it also means that the entire floor is going to be made of this texture. So yeah, I have to place temporary blocks all over it. We'll also just extend it out of here for the entrance to the quartz factory, and then we'll go backwards. So I'm thinking about this big. Now we just got to fill it in. With that finished up, gives us a little bit of space here to put down our shulker boxes again. I feel like I mentioned it every time, but it is really handy, the feature where I can just open them like this. But I also don't really like using it too much because it's not my regular workflows. It's annoying to sort through the shulkers in the inventory. And that's what I'm trying to say. So let's start us off with some chisel tough bricks in the corners. And then another stone pallet here, but a little more rough of a texture. Added in some polished tough stairs where I just want to get that in right there. And I got some copper grates on me that we can fill those with just to add in a little bit of a window. With the rest of the foundations in, we can start working on the second and third story of this building, where first of all, I just want to grab a bit of dark oak here and make a little outcropping before we grab our stripped spruce and dark oak logs and start placing those in. This is going to be the bottom of our new walls. Then for the middle, we'll go ahead and get our dark oak planks and fill this in because I don't really plan to use the space and only use the foundation here because really a quartz farm isn't too big. To be fair, a lot of crate farms can be made really compact. It just kind of depends on how you want to make it and how decorational you want it to be. I've got something interesting I want to try out for the main walls where we're going to be using a lot of blue terracotta, light blue terracotta, and some blue bricks that we grabbed up earlier. The blue and light blue terracotta are blocks that I find very hard to build with, but the blue bricks and the clay and, well, this is vanilla texturing, actually worked out quite well. It's definitely a different texture, but I quite like it. And also that's not textured because, well, there's going to be a building connecting these two eventually. Coming along here, just added in a little overhang. I'm thinking another door into this factory over here where this road is going to continue. There's going to be a little courtyard. No idea what that factory is going to make. Maybe electron tubes because, you know, easy to do the quartz. Actually, that's not a bad idea. To finish off the quartz factory building, I'm first creating some attic walls with the same block palette as the third floor, adding a couple of these to make an interesting roof shape. Then to kick off the roof itself, I'm creating a roof trim with dark oak to connect the eventual roof and structure it up, as well as finishing the walls. Finally, time for the roof itself, where I want to connect it down to the Lapis factory roof by using copper, but this time not oxidized, instead with the regular and exposed copper options. Dropped off some items. Need to actually head up back to the roof, but I'm out of food and we're actually super close by to my little food source that I've been using. Just gotta run along here and hop over here down in this hole where I still have my villagers at the moment. They're gonna get a home probably in the nature district or maybe in the residential area. Ooh, that could be cool. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it would make sense. Make my way onto the roof again where we're missing a chimney or two actually, and we're gonna use even more copper for this, but we're gonna use just regular copper blocks and extend up from this. I started get some chisel tough bricks just to divide it a little bit, bring this up a fair bit. It's gonna be some pretty big chimneys, but I do think they looked really good in the inspo picture, which I'll show here in just a second. Just need to finish this up where we can place some vertical stairs on these and then some real ones in here, or well, normal ones, filling all of those. Then let's top that off with some chisel tough bricks and finally just a couple of these on the inside. Since these are so big, I want to get a lot of smoke coming up. We'll do something like that, and then we'll also add in even one of these, which, yeah, that's a good amount of smoke. But let's build up a second one. There we go. Finishing that up. Let's get down from here. And also, I just need to mention this. I really like the iron bars, and then putting some candles on top of it. It looks really good. Saw one of my friends using it, and I just had to try it. But that is looking actually really good. And, ooh, money. And the inspo picture I use for this is this, also from Steamland, this enchantment. There's a little building in the background that was the whole inspiration for this entire factory. I just needed something to get me started. On the inside here, I've already gotten started with adding some things into the floor. And first thing I want to get in is the fan setup. We're gonna have 8 fans here in the bottom, and actually those are already spinning, which means I could also get these spinning. I just need to find, where did I put the water wheel exactly? Oh, here it is. Yep, the right way as well. And actually thinking about it, this is gonna take up a lot of space, so we should probably get the crushing area in first. Final part of it is going to be this, which is going to be for the clay and flint we're going to get from crushing down the sand. No, crushing down the gravel. Let that in right there with some brass funnels on top of that, or tunnels. For nearest as well on these, as one of them is going to go into fire and the other one is going to go into a chest, just like that. We don't need too much of a supply of it, just a little is nice to have in case I need it. We'll go ahead and get that extended up one block and some smart chutes. And it's time for the actual crushing wheels. We're going to get those in starting right here. Continuing upwards with more chutes. Get the second layer of them in. You obviously turn the cobblestone into gravel before turning it into sand. One more chute in the middle right here, and then the mechanical generator on top of that. Rotate it the right way. Good. And we need to get a cobblestone piece to put on that. Let's just connect this up. And while we're up here, we can finish off the top of the fan setup with some case chain drives. And I do still have the water wheels on me. Back down below, let's get the top fans in. And I guess we can start working on the output area, which will just be a giant vault here at the back and store a little more quartz than I do lapis. And let's see, soul campfires is going to be this first part, right like that. A lot of particles now, but we'll have to work through it. And we'll get the first belt in, going across right here. Oh, we're actually trying to remove that one. Second belt will eventually come in right over here. We'll just add it in for now. And let's see, grab some copycat panels just to border this off, make it look a little better. On the side, we have to build the panels first, if I can get them to place how I want them to. Just because this is going to be the water to wash the soul sand so that we actually get the quartz. Just let a vault in the middle of these. Could use some funnels on that. Funnel right there and one funnel right over there, and then just a few more copycat panels here in the middle. And did I bring extra list filters? I don't think I did. Sand goes out right there. Soul sand goes out here and also in here. Well, okay, don't need this filter actually. And then we do not soul sand over on that one. So let's see, let's just grab, maybe that's enough, so we can create a couple more list filters for ourselves to use. I've added in a few more decorations over here just to finish it kind of off. Added a little area for us to turn the gold that we get into ingots and throw away the extra. Just need to finalize these filters, and then the last thing to do is just to add the two outputs. One of them is going to start down here, and this is going to be the one that hopefully links up to the lapis, which actually thinking about that, and actually we'll make a belt because that might be the easiest way actually. Run over here and we'll grab this because we want to use the same belt, and this one's going to be powered by the lapis factory itself, so that if the lapis factory is off, then this belt won't be spinning. There will be a brass funnel right there, which yes, it does need a filter. There we go, tunnel right there, and then we should get that running over this way to a belt right here with another funnel, and that's our monorail output. Well, I would get it in, but it's a little hard to reach as well. We don't have this building yet. Oh, almost forgot about one more thing right over here where we need a rotation speed controller, because this belt needs to go really, really slowly, and I think it's 6 that it can go. And then, well, the first one can go at 6, and the second one is actually faster. So we're just gonna do that, and that should double the speed over here. Quickly just flying over to fix the bug of my power network shutting down. I think it has to do, oh, it's very dark down here, but I think it has to do with my render distance being so low, because, well, the base it's starting to get pretty laggy. It's starting to get difficult to stay on 60 FPS, so I've been turning the render distance down, and I think that is what's messing with the system, because yeah, if I just replace that, it all works again. So it might just add like a switch over there, which I can just flip, and that should hopefully reset it all, and I don't have to keep coming down to fix it. But let's see if we can get this up and running. Well, we go off this guy, I think, and we have the 2 connection points. Probably use this to connect up to the whatever factory goes above here. But we're running over this way for now. And okay, so my original point was over here, which I think I'm gonna keep on using. Get the clutch in right there and just run that over, which actually that should start everything up. Need to see so it's spinning the right way. Those will obviously be spinning the right way. Is everything else spinning the right way? I don't think so. Yes, no. I guess actually it would be easier to look at this over here. Yeah, it is all spinning the right way. Okay, cool. That was easy. Then we're just gonna run it over this way. Swap that out for clutch and get it up into there, and that's the lapis factory sorted as well, which is running also the right direction. Perfect. I wonder, has it already gotten quartz? No. Shouldn't it already have it? I mean, that is if everything is working, right? Okay, it's just watching the first pieces right now. I might have the belt set a little too fast. Oh wait, I just saw quartz go over. Ooh, I love this part of a factory. Actually, everything isn't even spinning over here. Okay, I'm missing one shaft probably somewhere. Nope, gearbox right here. Yep. now is it? Okay, we have quartz. And, well, actually, if I just throw a piece of lapis here, we should now have infinite lapis. Because now 2 got outputted. We're making more dye. And in a couple of minutes, this chest should be full of dye. And we have lapis for days. So, final thing for the quartz/lapis factory, the monorail depot, connecting the 2 separate buildings together. Decided to go for quite a neutral brown palette using packed mud, dirt, and spruce, throwing on the classic polished deep slate monorail entrances and a few details to finish it off. And then just connecting the factories to the road and andesite factory by adding in a bit of terrain out front. Quartz factory finished up, and well, the lapis factory as well, and it's been running for a little bit now. So do we? No, we don't have any lapis. Oh wait, we do. I think we're just starting to back up the belt up here, which means, wait, yes, we have lapis in here, and that also means that we have this chest full with. Oh, no, I didn't think about that. Anyways, that means we're, well, making lapis all the time now. How much quartz do we have? Oh, we have 18,000 quartz already. It's literally just been running while I finish the factory up and gather up these materials right here for a road extension. And I mean, that's a bit of tasty gold. Definitely good for making steam engines. So with the second material for hyper experience checked off, I want to start working towards building the final factory of this episode. That will make the last ingredient and, of course, the hyper experience itself. It was also way overdue to get a road leading up to the steam engine. Really should have done that when I built... Back again. Definitely not my base crashing the server again. Nope. Why would it do that? Nope, definitely not. But of course, we're going to need some new blocks for the hyper experience factory. And if I just go ahead and do this, crafting all of the items we need, we get a bunch of boxes here with brand new materials for us to use, but we're missing a few. So let's grab an extra shulker box. And the first thing I want to do is take a little trip to a few different factories around the city. First one being the monorail factory, where let's just grab up a couple of stacks of this. Second factory to visit is the newly built quartz one, where, oh, we already have an entire chest of clay balls. Okay, didn't expect to have that many already. I need 4 stacks of blocks, running up the andesite belt into the tough factory, which still doesn't have an access point, but we'll get it eventually. Let's fill the rest of this box with some tough. Arriving back in the starter base, and magically all of those tough blocks have turned into the blocks I need. completely without my doing, and of course. Hoping to sort one of these items out really easily by just popping through the nether. And in the previous episode, we destroyed the mangrove swamp, which should mean I have mangrove logs in here somewhere, like at least a few, right? Okay, 16 there. I think there's just a little more. Okay, 48. Better than nothing, but I think it's a little too little. Let's just see how many we have in storage here. Actually, just about enough. And then finally, let's see if we can cross off 2 birds with one stone and head north a bit. And arriving here in the taiga biome. First of all, I need a bit of puzzle. I'm actually gonna grab a bit extra. I need about a stack, but it is a bit of a trek out here, so I'm gonna grab maybe like 2 or 3. Maybe 4. And eventually we're gonna need a lot of this. Here we go. This will definitely do for today and will last me a little bit at least. And well, I really doubt I'm gonna find a copper vein, but I did see an opening right over here. And I need to stock up on copper because I'm like all out of it. Okay, it doesn't look like there's any in this end of the cave. Just a bunch of bulbs. Copper. Oh, there's a lush cave here. Oh, here's a bit. Okay, well, this cave dried up. We got 2 stacks. Actually, that's a lot for how little we found. It did, however, split up here. So let's see if the other end is a little better, because this was a little cramped. I thought this was going to be a much more open cave. Instead, let's... Oh, okay. Well, this will do. Yep, this will do. Okay. I think we can resupply our copper supply for, well, at least a couple of episodes. I've been spending way too long mining. I've got a little bit of copper. This second floor was a lot bigger than the first one, and I'm very glad there's not a third, because like I'd feel like forced to mine it, but I really don't want to, so I'm just gonna get out of here instead. Got 1 stack of blocks pressed up here, and let's craft that into fluid tanks, which is actually the final blocks we need for the Hyper XP factory. Blocks on me now, and the first thing I've got to do is move the support, because, well, we have to have a monorail access this, and I need to move the support to make that happen. support moved. Now to get the tracks back in place. Park the minicopter here, and this is the new network, and I don't love that. I might look into fixing that in the future, but also I think it won't be too noticeable. I don't know why it's doing that, but I think it works at least. And actually, I just thought about it. It might be smart to actually use the minicopter to continue this build, because why don't we just start with the monorail entrance? And we're just going to build up one of our classics designs, which we've used all over the city at this point. And yet, I still don't exactly know how they built. Yeah, I'm great with words. So a couple of copycats just to make the archway a little better. Added on the inside here, and I'm going to just keep on expanding on this monorail part. Where this is roughly how big I'm planning to have this room. So we're going to extend the monorail in across the entire thing and get a few metal girders here just to hold it up in places. Add in our train station, and if we go 3 blocks, well, 4 blocks out and then 3 blocks down from that, this should be where our storage interface goes. Following this, we'll use a smart chute and then 8 chutes going down into an item vault, which will stack on an andesite casing, bringing out a bit of cobble deep slate, and this is going to be our ground floor. Switching gears for a little bit, I want to connect the build down to the terrain already. Continuing with the bouldering landscape we started in the previous episode, where I'm imagining this factory sits on an outcropping into the lake, splitting this side up into 2 different shores. Main goal with adding in the terrain now was to extend up the first foundation to support the 3 fluid tanks. And currently we only have 1 fluid tank, so I think it's time for us to get the other 2 in as well. And they're all going to be... Oh, wait, I almost forgot something. I need some polished tough stairs. At the top of these, we'll extend in these tough stairs. And we got to do that on this tank as well, as I haven't touched it since I added it in. And on these 2, I also want to bring out fluid pipes going up and then in to the eventual factory. Just finished adding some copper pipes to the exterior, well, copper cut slabs to create some thicker pipes leading into the building. And I'm also realizing that this is actually supposed to be 1 block further down this entire thing, because it's just a little bit too small. I mean, this is the tank that's gonna be holding all the hyper experience, so you know, don't want to make it too small. There we go, just over 1,000 buckets. I'm hoping to fill that, but we might have to make a new XP farm because, well, all this time and I have 200 buckets of experience, and well, I'm gonna need 10,000 buckets of experience to make 1,000 buckets of hyper experience. But let's not dwell on that and extend in the final fluid tank. There we go. Final tank in, and this one's going to be a water tank, and we need that to make our ink sacks. And I actually want to start working on that part of the farm right now. And I was actually going to make this quite complicated with an entire tree farm to make charcoal, to make the black dye. Because if you didn't know, to make ink sacks on the server, it's super simple with just spraying water on black dye. I have a sneaking suspicion, or I know for a fact that Charles added this recipe when he was making hyper experience. And honestly, I'm so glad, because I would not be bothered making squid farms. But like I was saying, I was actually going to make this quite complicated until someone gave me a little bit of a tip. And so what we're gonna do is add a barrel in right here. This is all gonna go down to that belt. All the way down here, we're gonna add in some encased chain drives, 1 as well right there, and then grab our encased fan, and I think just 2 more chutes. No, 3, because the millstone has to be in line with that. And pretty much what we're making here is a replica of the Lapis farm, just with a millstone instead. Because what I failed to realize is that when crushing down ink sacks, I get black dye back, and ooh, I get gray dye too. I have to figure out a way to get rid of that, but we get 2 black dye, which we can turn into 2 ink sacks, and we have infinite ink. So let's see if we can finish this up. Just grabbing a few extra things since I didn't think about the gray dye. And I gotta say, I mean, the tanks looks pretty epic. We'll add in one of those on the back as well here. And I did grab gray and black dye just to filter these. And should also have, yeah, flint and steel on you, which we can place down there. I could save them, but then I have to have an overflow, and I'd rather just not. And let's see here. That's gonna get turned into ink sacks, which will be in here. And I actually have to switch this out for a smart chute. And I did also grab glow and normal ink sacks, so that will go in there. Well, this will go in here too. But we have to make sure that it goes in here first, which is why I was using a belt and not... Okay, this also works. Now it should take that first. I guess just to be sure, we can add in another. Let's see. Do I have them on me, don't I? Yeah, another barrel just down here with an output funnel on it, and that should make sure that everything works. But that is all the crate I want to do now. I do actually want to hook it up already, though. Looks like this one's actually going to be super, super easy to hook up. I'll just run it. Oh, we could run it from that. We'll run it from this one. Doesn't actually matter. Here's right there. And another one. Oh, right here. Hopefully this spins the right way. We'll easily be able to see that if we just pop up here and check the chute moving downwards. Nope. Wrong way. So we'll just give it a swap right up here. And now it's been the right way. Let's just hook up the water before we continue building, as then we can start the ink sac production. We do also have to connect this belt up here. And this is gonna be our way to power most things in the factory. There we go. Now everything up here is also spinning the right way. Perfect. And all we need to do is take a pipe coming out from this guy, lead him down, and get a couple of windows in there just to see what it's pumping. And into the drain, we'll eventually put a casing on that. Forgot to add in a pump, but got that sorted now, and we should start seeing water in the tank. We are, and it's already at 40 buckets. What's this one at? 200. Yeah, I think this one's gonna catch up quite fast. But that means we have water in the spout as well. And actually, how much water did the recipe use? Oh, 3 millibuckets. 3 millibuckets. I mean, why not make it like 100? It's fine. It's completely free, so it really doesn't matter. But I guess if we just add in some charcoal, right? That should do it for us. And I think that's an infinite loop. It should be. We're not getting anything over here, which is great. And now it's constantly doing that. Perfect. Okay, cool. With the ink sacs producing away and we wait for that to build up, let's actually start building up the factory walls. I want to continue up a sort of foundation palette with coral, tuff, and stone bricks, along with pipes for details. Then for the main walls, I've used the same inspo picture for this build as the starter base, and the building this is inspired by has a similar red tone to the starter base. So, of course, using that palette. Adding a few supporting bits and bobs as I move up, and finishing with a few windows. And windows is actually what I'm still working on here as we continue this upwards. Bringing in some side round windows now. But let's continue this side up here as we try to reach some sort of a top. I think this is around where I'm going to end it off. Just going to extend up the rest here. It's going to probably be, well, a little boring looking on the side, but I hope it won't be too bad. Thinking of it here, I should have built up the little connecting roof thing before I built up the walls. So it should be okay. There we go. Added in a bigger window on the other side. And the next thing I want to do is start extending up this middle arch. With the second one of these in, I want to extend another girder across up here. To either side, and let's encase this with some of our red palette here. With that all in, that sort of completes the red palette for today. And the only final thing I want to do is a lot of glass, and this comes straight from the inspo picture I was using, which I'll show you in just a second here. Final wall here, just adding this, well, wall is maybe a little too much. Final window right there, and then we can close this off with that. And here you have the inspo picture that pretty much inspired this entire project, and at least very much the starter base. And if we just take a step back here, if you look at that building to the right on the picture, I think you can sort of see what I'm going for here. Obviously, if we can make those round tanks, which, you know, I probably could if I was doing like 3x3 tanks and then having stairs, and yeah, a lot of work and very awkward to use. So I actually like this more, well, create version of it. But coming back down here, I realized how much work we still have to do on the inside. So let's grab some tuff. I'd like to start us off with a base layer of just some cut tough bricks, or chisel tough bricks. And then we do some tough bricks on top of this, just to fill in this last section here and create a little bit of a raised floor. We'll be filling this in, as this is going to be the main entrance into the factory over here, and eventually out to the courtyard. That will be the home for the second part of this project. This is all I'm going to do for the courtyard today, though. And yeah, if you look at this side here, you can see that there's kind of meant to be an extension to this factory, and that will be the room that actually does all of the enchanting of tools and everything. But that's next video's project, and that will also tackle the courtyard, and I mean, hopefully hooking it up to the road, maybe over there, or actually, well, the road is right through there, so we could just spin that around. We'll see. But now though, let's get a railing here on the inside and a couple of details. There we go. A few more details in here. Let's actually get this door in as well. And let's finish up this farm where we need our blaze burner, basin, and mixer as the center point. And I think that's going to go right here. Out of this, we need a smart fluid pipe. And I'm going to say it again. I wish these worked a little differently, but for today, it actually isn't too bad as it just goes straight out. Obviously, putting the filter on there. And then let's see. I need to bring the glowing sack in on that side and the lapis on this one. This needs to be that, and we should have a funnel there, but I actually don't have an extra one, so we'll just have to use a andesite for now. I was about to make a list filter, but I have glowing sack right here. We'll get the haunting system set up in a second because I forgot all the materials for it, so we'll sort that out in just a second. Let's move around to the bottom side of all of this, where we're going to need a pump that leads out of the XP tank. This is going to come around here, up and through this little hole. Then that's going to come down off to the side to power that. So this goes forward. Good thing I grabbed the box because I forgot the andesite chain drives, the encased chain drives. That goes up right there, and I think that's the bottom side fixed. I'm gonna say it is at least. Continue the chain drives up with just one block right there. Switch out our cogs for our gears. Continue that up. We're gonna need to continue this belt now, hooking that up right there, which actually makes everything start to spin. And oh no, don't waste XP. There we go. Okay, we can actually have a little one of those on that. Now we just gotta, let's see here. I want to pull out some hyper experience as well, just in case I want to get some bottles of it for some reason. I mean, if I have 1,000 buckets, could be fun just to throw at people and see what their reaction is. I think the final thing to get all of this functioning is literally just that, to get the mixer spinning. And I was gonna fuel the blaze burner with lava from below, but I think if I remember this correct, yeah, it needs to be superheated. I didn't think about this. It's fine. We'll feed it by hand today, and then in the next episode where we're automating the tools, we'll set up a blaze cake factory as well. Heading over to the starter base. Let's see if we can get this fan working as well, so the hyper XP farm actually works. I want to try making a fan catalyst this time to see if they emit less particles, because that could be a way to save on some lag. Then do we have an extra fan? Nope, but we do have an extra propeller, so we can craft up our new fan. And before we go, we need to pop a soul sand into the fan catalyst. Returning back here, I went ahead and sent over the monorail, and let's just access this to set up this train schedule real quick, and then we can fix the glow ink while it goes and gets some lapis for us. It's gonna have to travel to Lapis out. We'll do cargo inactivity for maybe like 20 seconds. And right over here, we'll do item cargo condition 0 items. Sounds good. Loop forever. Skip current stop. And off it goes. So that should be back with Lapis in just a minute. Oh, I just made sure that it was loading and I'm already back. And thinking about it, I mean, 1 vault and that has like 40-50 volts. So it's gonna be there a while. But that's the Lapis sorted then. And let's sort this out. Okay, so we'll do our fan right here, and we'll do a haunting catalyst above that. Ooh, that actually looks pretty cool. And actually what we could do I have enough? I think I have enough wood. Oh, this is gonna be super easy then. We just make a water wheel and we put that under that. Just make that and put that under that, and boom boom. I don't know if I'm making any sense right now. Water wheel goes there, bit of deep slate just like that, and then let's see, I think it has to go this way. Yes. Oh, that's working. Oh, wait, this is bad. Wait, what? I think we just need to sneak in a gearbox right here to make sure that that works correctly. And obviously we don't want that. And, oh, ooh, we have all the materials. Wait, I gotta go get blaze cakes. Okay, I have 4. I mean, that's gonna do for now. I don't plan to use the hyper experience today. And as long as we set up the blaze cake factory to start off next episode, we should have enough hyper experience to do what I want to do. All right, let's give this a try. Oh, here it goes. I was gonna pump the first bucket into this, but oh my god, look at it. 100 millibuckets already. Oh, I bet you were going through this so fast. Oh, that's not even funny. Luckily, the XP source can be improved on, as I'm currently using unenchanted swords, but I could upgrade those to sharpness and looting 3 swords, which would give me more experience. While we wait for the hyper experience to craft up, I want to finish the build off by adding this extension bit using a clay pallet. I totally didn't fall off and then forget to unpause the recording, and that's why there's a cut. No, why would I do that? But moving on, final part of this build is a little metal structure to tie it together and add a bit more of an industrial feel to the build. Back on the inside now. Let's see. How much did we get? 6,000 is pretty good. Well, 7.5 is actually really, really good for being hyper experience. And I guess just to show off a little bit, we could just route that back in there. And we have, yep, 7,500. And the limiting factor, well, the most often limiting factor is the ink sac. And because of the little recipe shells added, that's not a problem. We also have like this down here, so really, really not a problem. But of course, we don't have an infinite supply of blaze cakes at the moment, so we'll have to sort that out next episode. As I'm running out of time for this episode, and we've already built up 3 different factories: the Quartz and Lapis combined factory and the hyper experience one. Stepping onto the outside here, just taking yet another step back. I really, really like how this building has come together, and it's been one of those that I wanted to make for so long, pretty much since I saw the inspo picture for the starter base. I've always imagined it being my redstone farm, but I won't lie, the villagers are sufficing, considering we have thousands of redstone blocks. And I'm really, really happy we turned it into a hyper experience farm, and I can't wait for this tank to, well, I mean, you actually being able to see it. Like, I mean, we can run over here and probably see it. Yeah, but it's just a little slither here on the bottom. Hopefully that will be filled up. But as I've been saying, that is the end of this video. And if you want to catch the next episode, which is the second part of this entire project, where we'll be automating tools completely, and well, I guess technically finishing automating hyper experience because we don't have the blaze cakes, but that's fine. That's fine. We're automating it. Then make sure to subscribe so that you don't miss that episode. But thank you so very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys soon. Bye. I forgot to mention, I have billboards all over the city that need to be filled, like these right over here. So if you want to make some pixel art for me to put in the city, send them to me on the Discord. I really, really appreciate it. And it's gonna make the city look so cool.